Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more Los Angeles Lakers news, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. A star who can defend, attack and has the physical strength to deal with the physicality of playoff games is all the Lakers need to build a great roster. Zion Williamson is only 24 years old and can provide all of this to the Lakers and form a high-level duo with Luka Doncic that rivals will have difficulty stopping. Zion Williamson is in a slump with the Pelicans, so if Rob Pelinka uses a good player package, it will be possible to sign Williamson. He could be signed for the reasonable price of Rui Hachimura, Vincent, Maxi Kleber and a draft pick, but his physical conditioning is still a concern, but the Lakers can convince the player to take care of himself to be successful in Los Angeles. Zion Williamson would form a successful duo with Luka Doncic. If there's one player in the league that could feel Luka's pain as he's been denigrated for his conditioning these past few months, it's Zion Williamson. Zion was poised to be the next big thing when he entered the league in 2019, but instead he's become the next big thing as he's struggled with his weight and a seemingly never-ending string of injuries. There's no way to characterize Zion's time in New Orleans as anything other than a massive disappointment. This time I'm not going for the pun. He's still one of the most talented players in the league when healthy, though, he just hasn't shown the commitment to stay on the court. Zion is one of the league's most explosive leapers, and his ability to shoot a high field goal percentage while not being a true center is rivaled only by Giannis. He's shot the ball at nearly a 60% clip in his career, and his assist rate has gone up every year he's been in the league. Zion is maybe the most tantalizing player in the NBA, and the Lakers won't be the only ones contending with an angel and a devil on their shoulder this offseason when they decide if he's worth the risk. He's a former #1 overall pick for a reason, and if someone can just get through to him and keep him in shape, the sky is the limit. The Lakers already know that they need to get Luka in better shape to contend for a title. JJ Redick said it after the season without explicitly naming his Slovenian star. Why not go on the buddy system? By pairing Zion with Luka, the duo would have the biggest collective chip on their shoulder in the league. Maybe they build their own In-N-Out burger outside the practice facility, or maybe they decide enough is enough and lay waste to the rest of the league. To land a star, the Lakers would have to give up a lot to match their salaries, but their potential trade partners would probably say yes just to get out of those contracts. Is there a high probability that these moves will blow up in the Lakers' faces? Oh, yes, absolutely. If Pelinka decides it's worth the risk to try to win a title, the newly promoted executive could shock the league once again. The Los Angeles Lakers. This is a franchise that has always been one for big changes, so the question this offseason is, how big of a change will President of Basketball Operations Rob Pelinka be willing to make in the pursuit of another championship? By trading for Luka Doncic in February, Pelinka ensured that the Lakers' post-LeBron future is secure, or at least it will be if and when Luka signs an extension. As for LeBron, he has until June 29 to decide on his player option for next year. Even with those two superstars, the Lakers were clearly no match for the Minnesota Timberwolves, for a variety of reasons. The defense experienced a mid-season resurgence, but that proved to be a mirage. The lack of a true center actually worked against Los Angeles, with Rudy Gobert dominating the game and the rest of the Wolves also able to impose their will physically in the paint. Coach JJ Redick lost all confidence in his bench as the series wore on, opting to start his starters with a lot of minutes, a move that ultimately failed. This offseason could go differently. Pelinka could work on the margins, try to find some valuable bench additions and a strong center, and hope that having Luka on board for the entire season will result in a better outcome. But is that the Lakers' way? Not if half a century of history has taught us anything. JJ Redick wants to bring out best version of Luka Doncic. The Los Angeles Lakers trade for Luka Doncic was one of the most seismic deals in the history of the NBA and completely changed the fortunes of their franchise. But it was always going to be a process for head coach JJ Redick to integrate him in the middle of the season as practice time is limited. Even still, Redick and the Lakers coaching staff did as good a job as possible and the team had an excellent end to the regular season before falling into the playoffs. But now going into next season, Redick will have an entire offseason to better integrate DONCIC into the offensive system and his confidence in what he, LeBron James and Austin Reeves will grow into. Greg St. Jean was with Dallas that year, so he's kind of spoken to me about that, and it's nothing malicious, it's nothing intentional, but these things take time, particularly with star players, Redick said at the Lakers' end-of-season press conference. There's a reason, in modern NBA history, go back the last 30 to 40 years, there's been a handful or less than a handful of all-star players traded in season that led directly to a championship. These things take time. So I think there's a great benefit in a full offseason. I know those guys will be communicating, hopefully we can get them together at some point for some sort of mini camp. And then going through training camp, preseason, that's sort of where you build a foundation and the building blocks for the rest of the year. I think there's value in repetition, and frankly, we didn't get a ton of repetition, and that's the nature of making an in-season trade. But certainly feel very confident and very optimistic about those three going forward. DONCIC, James, and Reeves showed glimpses of what they can become during the season, and this offseason should allow for them to build even more chemistry. But it is Luka who is the face of this Lakers franchise going forward, and Redick ultimately wants to bring out the best version of the superstar. I was only in Dallas for 2.5 months. We both had an immediate bond to each other despite our age difference. Despite he wasn't a father then, I had 2 kids, Redick noted about his relationship with DONCIC. We've kept in touch, we've spent a little bit of time together in the last 3 years, so I think that bond that was already there gave us a great starting point as a player-coach. I think our first conversation when flew into LA that night, he wants to be coached, he wants to be held accountable. He's expressed to me, and what I've expressed to him is very similar. I want to bring out the best version of Luka, and that's what he wants from me. And so that's the partnership going forward, that's the expectation, and that's sort of the baseline of what we're trying to do. Let's try to bring out the best version of Luka, and hopefully win a championship doing that. It is important for everyone to be on the same page in order to achieve that great success, and Redick and DONCIC seem to be locked in together. If Redick can do what he intends and bring the best out of DONCIC, success for the Lakers should follow. Lakers Luka Doncic loves having JJ Redick as coach. I wish he was a Laker. Magic Johnson shares true feelings about Kevin Durant that purple and gold fans will like. Magic Johnson recently congratulated Kevin Durant for winning the Magic Johnson Award for the 2nd time. In the process of showing praise for the Suns forward, the Lakers legend expressed his wish to have seen Durant be a Laker. Los Angeles Lakers legend Magic Johnson recently showed love to Kevin Durant and congratulated him for winning the Magic Johnson Award. In the process of praising Durant on X, Johnson also tweeted about how he wished to see the Phoenix Suns star don the purple and gold. Congratulations to the 2-time Magic Johnson Award winner Kevin Durant. I'm so excited Kevin Durant won this award because is he always so gracious to the media and fans. I love his game, who he is as a man, and all the great community work that he's doing in the DMV area with the youth. Kevin is an outstanding entrepreneur and a big Commanders fans. I wish he was a Laker. LOL. The Magic Johnson Award is handed out to players who not only excel on the court, but also graciously carry themselves with media and fans. Durant's work off the court with the community certainly caught the eye of the Lakers legend. However, the idea that Johnson presented of seeing Durant step on the court while wearing the Lakers purple and gold is truly an interesting one for the fans. The Phoenix Suns forward has been one of the most interesting players to follow over the last few years. Having skipped across the league in an attempt to be a part of a contending side, the forward is expected to be on the lookout for another place to call home in the summer. Among the trade rumors linking Durant with different teams, the Houston Rockets are the team that has presented the most viable package to acquire. But, it wouldn't be out of the question for the Lakers to make Johnson's wish come true. Landing Kevin Durant presents an impossible challenge for the Lakers. The notion of the Los Angeles Lakers landing Kevin Durant seems borderline ridiculous at first glance. Given the current state of the team's salary cap since acquiring Luka Doncic, it is clear that the team is in need of offloading salaries rather than taking on a bigger one. However, a team featuring LeBron James, Doncic, and Durant as the big three is certainly a fantasy for some fans. In light of this, we aim to formulate a trade package that could bring the Suns forward over to the sunny beaches of Los Angeles. Proposed trade details. Phoenix Suns receive Austin Reeves, Dalton Knecht, Rui Hachimura, Dorian Finney-Smith, 2026 first-round pick swap, 2031 first-round pick. Los Angeles Lakers receive Kevin Durant. While such a trade could work on paper, the Lakers would face devastating consequences throughout their season. With effectively no backup power forwards, playmakers, or wing defenders, the purple and gold would be spiraling to the bottom of the West. Additionally, considering the shortage of draft capital the Lakers have, giving up more would simply force the team to rely on expiring contracts and free agents to build their roster for future campaigns. Meanwhile, the Suns would benefit from acquiring a blend of young and veteran talent. This trade would effectively reset the Suns' rebuild and turn them into a competitive side again. LeBron James believes mid-range shots are still important to success. Los Angeles Lakers star LeBron James has won at every level of basketball, though he remains motivated to add another NBA title to his resume. James and the Lakers looked primed to make a deep postseason run during the 2025 NBA playoffs, but they were eliminated by the Minnesota Timberwolves in convincing fashion. Despite the Lakers' collective star power, it wasn't enough to get past a Timberwolves team built with ideal size, length, and physicality across each position. It was a hard-fought series for James, who was asked to play small ball center against Minnesota, and he performed as if he was square in his prime again. However, LeBron looked worn down by the end of the series and even suffered a grade 2 MCL sprain that would have forced him to miss time if the Lakers had advanced. James understands what it takes to win games in the playoffs, and he emphasized how important the mid-range area of the floor is while using the Oklahoma City Thunder as an example in the most recent episode of his Mind the Game podcast with Steve Nash. If it's OKC and Shai's getting blitzed in the pick and roll, and you're hitting Jalen Williams in the pocket or you hit Alex Caruso in the pocket, you're at their mercy. If you're playing Boston and you're doubling Jason Tatum and you hit Drew Holiday in the pocket, he's a point guard that's making 4-on-3 reads, things he's been doing his whole career. So it's very key, and the mid-range is, I think, is very, very key to the success of great teams. Most discussions around the mid-range area of the floor center on jump shots, but James is describing how the mid-range is where the best ball handlers and playmakers do their damage. As James explained, players like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jason Tatum have grown adept at taking double teams and passing out to the correct player to keep an offensive possession humming. James is a master of every area on the basketball court, so he knows full well what he can do once he's got an advantage on the floor. LeBron's size and strength make him a difficult person to defend, but even more so if he has an open passing lane. Next year could very well be James' final season in the league, so it'll be interesting to see if the front office can surround him with a championship-caliber roster. LeBron James explains decision to always make right play in crunch time. LeBron James will go down as arguably the greatest player of all time, and that's in large part due to his willingness to always make the right play. Some have criticized James for avoiding potential game-winning shots to pass, but the Lakers star explained why he continues to do so.